first?
Yep, Henry the Lion versus William the Conqueror. Let's hop into game number 1. These could be some long games, man. There's still so many players. Oh, they've gone for these colors again. Damn it. Why do they always... we need to eliminate this color because there are people who are colorblind who can't deal with this. Hold on a second.
It's hard for me to see, and I'm not colorblind. The earlier game with the conchs, it was so confusing to tell who had more conch numbers because I kept confusing blue for purple.
Colorblind mode. Ooh, I don't want to experiment with that right now. Guys, is there a way that I can turn on team colors without a hotkey? I guess I could change the hotkey. I apologize. This is looking... Here. This is more professional. There. Yeah, you can't see anything. The hotkey I normally have for team colors is my casting hotkey. Anyways, man, how's it going? We have everything prepared. Everything's good. I really like the colors that they're choosing. Just stall. Just stall them. Stall them.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's going great. The colors are beautiful, actually. I do laser programming, and blue and purple are the best colors for lasers because it looks beautiful. And usually when you have lasers of the wavelength of light that we use, they tend to look a little bit blue by default at their brightest setting. The white is a little bluish. That's kind of a cool color temperature. And so you end up with a lot of like blue and purple. Plus it looks good for EDM, so.
Wow, that's fascinating. Tell me more about
that. So I got nothing.
Okay. I think I got a fix. Okay. Hold on. We have the test.
And are you pausing at a certain time? Or how are you
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I did just pause it, but we're good now. Okay. So.
Okay. I'm at 31 seconds. So
are you kidding me? Did I set the hotkey? Whatever hotkey I set for team colors, I think was also a hotkey for my casting program. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
I got this.
Disaster.
No.
So
fixed.
Great.
Okay, let's do this. Again, professional stream, all right? Let's reload the game and we'll be good to go, all right?
Yes.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Okay.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 1 in a best of 5. Look, William the Conqueror also had some issues with hotkeys. That's perfect.
Yeah, very fitting. I like it.
Yeah,
we're not the only ones that don't know what we're doing.
No. YouTube can't know about the problems.
There's no problem.
Exactly.
They're having problems. We're not having problems.
Exactly. Players, it's honestly disgusting.
It's a hotkey problem, too.
It's disgusting. You know, they don't prepare. Biggest tournament in almost 20 years, and they don't prepare. Are you kidding me, players? Jeez, it's sad. But I have Henry the Lion in the red. Henry the Lion is playing as the Persians, and then William the Conqueror is playing as the Mayans. Game number 1, Arabia. With me is Matt Salsa. We did a bit of casting together. I think it was a 2v2 arena or something back in November. But how pumped are you for this, man? This should be fun.
I'm excited. It's my first time, especially with this many viewers, so I'm eager to learn. I asked you a little bit ago who you were most excited to co-cast with, and you said Dave, and I was like, I'll never be able to live up to Dave, but I'll give it my best, and so I'm here, and I'm excited to do it. So
no, I mean, don't put a lot of thought into it. I guess I'm used to it, but I would say, and we see some aggressive laming from William, I would say that the cool thing about the qualifiers in Hidden Cup 3 so far, and chat would probably agree, is the variety of people we brought in. As much as Dave is going to put on a show with me this weekend, if it was Dave all 4 days, I would get tired of him, and people might get tired of me or Dave. So I think mixing up the casting is perfect. And
the Bill, do you see the Bill on the Henry's Bill? Almost died to the board.
Oh, really?
They took 2 downhill hits and then the house wall, or the house trick to get the board to de-aggro saved it.
Okay, so I missed it. This is why we bring in good co-casters. And so, MBL confirmed?
It wasn't the best house wall, and it wasn't the best house trick in the world. Okay. It was placed kind of awkwardly. I don't know what that says, but...
Okay. All right, well, I'm going to explain what that is for people that missed it, because I was a bit blind. If you have a boar attacking your villager, and you're about to lose the villager, and you place a house foundation right on top of the boar and hit the house, what that does is it de-aggroes the boar, so the boar no longer sees you as a threat. And that saved a villager for Henry. Now, Persians and Mayans is a pretty solid matchup. Persians is maybe not a civ that other players picked for game 1, because they want to save Persians for more of the hybrid maps. But we did see Persians beat Mayans in the previous set, so it could work really well.
Yeah, it's interesting with DE. I mean, for those that are coming from Voobly or from other balances, like Persians have been really strong recently, and I'm really enjoying playing them. It's interesting to see them versus top tier civs like Mayans, because they both have great options, and they're both like very, very different in terms of the way that they play out, in my opinion. Ooh. So I'm eager to see what happens here.
Yeah, I think Persian economy is probably the best or one of the best economies in the game. Now, I'm fascinated by a couple things we've seen already. Whoever this Henry the Lion person is, he has great boar control, because he also weakened the boar with his town center before finishing it off with the villagers. Is William going to kill that villager? No, Henry the Lion's walling it in. Okay.
Quick walls again.
Yeah.
That's the second set of quick walls that we've seen if you include the boar house wall, so.
All right. Well,
it's interesting.
It's so fun to cast this, Matt, because in the previous set, many people thought that it could have been Mr. Yo, and already in the Twitch chat, we have people saying Henry the Lion is Mr. Yo. So there can't be more than one Yo. Henry the Lion is on the way to Feudal Age, and we have the very standard Mayans Drush coming forward. So, Militia, just meant to buy time. Not the best base for William the Conqueror, but the walls are coming up. The Drushfast Castle is so standard. It's so good with Mayans. And what the response is really going to tell us who Henry the Lion is. I think a lot of players freak out if they can't get their scouts through those walls at the Mayans base.
I like Henry's map, though, a lot. If he can get to that Persian boom on this map, he's got a lot of flat area around the golds and the stone. It's going to be, like, if you can get the Castle Age, wall this off, and boom, I think you have a strong opportunity.
Yeah. What's interesting to me is how he's taking the deer right now. He's taking 2 deer. It's not very common to see pros just standing there in the middle of nowhere taking deer, but it's still food, so that counts. And he did see the Drush, and he walled it out, so it's actually quite good. But I've seen it so many times where the Mayan player goes fast castle, and you could see there just how common Mayans and Aztecs Drush, but they don't do any damage, Matt, and they're still fine. So Henry the Lion's got to think hard about how he plays this.
Right, and the Drush isn't necessarily like you do a ton of damage. It's just like, even if you get a couple seconds off of the castle time, like any advantage for the Mayan player getting up to castle, being able to get units out unpressured is really strong, because, you know, they have that big spike right in early castle, right? So, whereas Persians don't really have that as much. Like, Persians, like, you're trying to get to the boom in early castle, whereas Mayans are going to have the military advantage in early castle, likely, so that's kind of the difference, I think. And the Drush might just help them get there without taking damage. You get the scouts going forward, but they're going to be hitting walls. So
yeah, what's weird to me is how William didn't even try and attack a wall. He forced some quick walls, but these militia, he's not going to upgrade them, surely. So why not? Why not attack a wall and make Henry try and fight you? It's very peculiar how he just ran forward, did a little loop-de-loop, and then said, "Okay, I'm gonna." Maybe, you know what? Maybe he's expecting a forward, and that's why he came back.
That's what's happening right now. Henry's going forward, 4 vills. All 3 golds are exposed for William, so this first tower could be dangerous, and he's got the army to support it. So
true. Oh man, and I think that comes back to the early scouting from Henry. He also stole some sheep earlier. Didn't mention that. So he has 4 scouts. Can definitely clean this up. He's going for a forward archer range, which is really. It gives me some Mr. Yo vibes.
Confuses me a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would, you know, I'm 1500 pleb here. I don't know if I would go for the range versus really trying to get that tower up before the William can counter tower, right? Because you know he's going to be in Dark Age a little longer.
Yeah. I hate the forward archer range. I have been telling my community for 4 years, don't build forward buildings. Build out from home and then send your military forward. Building forward buildings is so risky, William the Conqueror, he knows the tower's gonna come. Oh, he was actually debated. That was an outpost, not a tower.
Oh, sick.
That's funny.
And especially the forward buildings, if you build them on a neutral island and you can't transport the archers over, disaster, right?
Yeah,
like
you're funny, Matt. Everyone thinks you're hilarious. Congrats. Well, you know, William has to make decisions now because the gold's gonna be protected. But the army
I can tell you the decision
in.
he's making. Look at the 4 vills going forward for William. I mean, they're kind of sitting in the middle of the map right there, but
Whoa.
I don't know what's going on. This kind of rings to me like low APM play, but
Well, the focus here was to get some stone wall foundations up because he's not he doesn't have enough stone for a tower, but my question is what will he do because this army is going to break in eventually. It looks like he's sending... It's F2F! Hold on a second! Is it the F2F strategy? Matt, did you see that video?
You gotta refresh my memory. F to F?
F2F. It was a noob player. Check out the YouTube channel. And he went forward lumber camp.
I did see it! And then he builds the TC in the castle, like, and... Yeah! It's like he makes a base in the middle of nowhere, and then he uses that to pressure the siege.
No, this can't be F2... Okay, if it's F2F, it's got to be someone who's really good, who wants to watch the Twitch chat right now and watch people react.
This is crazy.
If he builds a lumber camp, I'd be very surprised. But why else come to this corner? I mean, there's the gold there, right? Maybe he wants to tower the gold. I'm so confused, man. I mean, he's done a good job defending, has the stone, has the gold for now. Still will be more towers for Henry. The range has done nothing except make me angry.
Exactly.
And a forward
There's like 2
archer
options
range
for these forward vills, right? Like it's either a genius like 2k IQ play to do some kind of F to F masterpiece, or it's a huge mistake. Like
yeah.
And it feels like a mistake to me.
Well, it's actually really interesting because Henry, I would argue that the archer ranges for William make more sense than they do for Henry, as long as he spots the walls and does not attack them and Henry doesn't realize. Because the range for Henry is so awkward. If he goes forward, he has to send them a long way. If he needs to go home now with defensive skirmishers, he needs to send them a long way too.
Right.
Oh, did he spot that, Matt? Like, they just walked next to the wall. Did he spot that?
I don't know. I mean, he was... I feel like he might have, because that Vill had just gone out there and he moved the Vill like right after. So I feel like there's a chance that happened, but no reaction yet. If you spot it, I think you double wall it.
Yeah, or you tower possibly. He does have some stone for a tower, and now now the tower's coming up. He does not have oh no, he's gonna stonewall, so he's gonna bail on this gold. Man, what a start to this series. This is such a good game. This is so cool.
It's fascinating. It's almost like they're trading a little bit, trading maps a little bit in terms of damage. Like they're both mirroring forward ranges, forward trush. It's interesting.
Well, you know what was really cool about Henry? This is not a common situation to run into, and he immediately felt like the play was to commit to stonewalling that off, which tells me if it ends up working, it's a really good player, because to make the decision to say, oh, I'm just going to go for another gold and wall you out is really interesting.
Right.
Well, the scouts, they've not broken in. Neither has the single archer and skirm, but the towers behind the wood lines are really going to annoy William. He has lost one wood line already. It's possible he'll lose the next one, but he does have this counter tower coming up with fletching. Maybe he'll get that villager away.
Also, look at the resources for Henry. Henry's got a lot more food in the bank than than William does. So he's been spending it a little bit just now, but I think he's thinking about Castle Age, which I think is the play if you're Persians here. If you can get to the TCs and get a boom out really early, you have them under pressure. That's where Persians really shine. So.
Did somebody clip that? Did that villager attack the eagle through? It did. That villager somehow he clicked the wall to repair it, and the villager attacked the eagle through the wall. Thanks, DE.
Tell you, the Vill's been hanging out with the Steppe Lancers too much.
Oh, it's a Kamayuk. Oh man, that was weird. Sometimes in Diagonal Palisades you could do it, but never seen anything like that. And Henry, he's still on this gold. I feel like he needs to pull Vills from this gold, and he needs to defend and hope to get to Castle Age with all that extra food he has.
Right.
What a weird game this has turned out to be. Henry loses a scout as he thinks about running through there. And now, oh god, this could be bad for Henry. The tower will go up, but it could just get battered right down.
It'll get battered down. The Vills are low HP. The archers are there. This is really, really rough. And this is the downside of going for low military, high eco, like trying to get up quick. Maybe you start making skirms and send them back.
Oh yeah, skirms from the archer range in the center of the map. Oh.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You almost have to like build another range at that rate.
Oh, it makes me so angry. They're so much better than me. Why do they do it? Well, he's gonna hold. He's gonna toss away a bunch of Vills, but he's bringing scouts back. And I have to say, the archer micro from William is really good. But he also has villagers of his own trapped there. So they'll die. They'll for sure die if Red cleans this up. I
think this, and I don't know if you noticed this, but Henry's on the way up. He's 30% up.
Yep.
And it's looking like a strong position for Henry.
Yeah, these villagers are either going to die to the tower or die to something else. Not even worth the time trying to save this villager here, unfortunately. But
you know what? I just noticed, I don't have the fancy overlays that you do. The Vill count, there's like a 13 Vill difference.
Yeah.
In favor of William, which I didn't realize.
Yeah, and now look at the way William's played this. He has the tower on the gold on the left. He has an archer behind the gold here. He also picked off a wall, Vill. There was a hole in the wood line.
Wow.
And he's behind the wood line with the archer too. If only Red had skirmishers.
Yeah.
Oh wait, his archer range wasn't at home.
Dang.
It's like this game is just proving me right, and as a caster, I'm loving it. It's like there's so many times where I'll have an opinion and I'm dead wrong, so I need to make sure that when I'm dead right about an opinion, I just
you
pound that
make it
home.
really clear to everyone, like don't put your ranges in the middle. I agree with you.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna make a knight, I guess. It would make sense. There's so many farms here where he doesn't have working villagers. Look at Red's base.
Check out the Vills on the gold that are dying to the tower.
Wow. Well,
there's been 2 Vills that have died so far to that tower, and maybe a third now.
Well, William is definitely conquering here in game 1, man, and he defended well. He expected the forward, and I think he reacted nicely to it. And the forward range and villagers has paid off. It wasn't quite the F2F strategy, but a great strategy to choose. So what do you expect here from William? It seems like he has a lot of stone right now.
Well, I mean, plumes are obviously strong. I would love to see some of that. It's fun to watch, especially in the context of Hidden Cup, plume micro, because there's so many opportunities when you get a fast-moving archer unit out on the map.
Yep.
Just being able, whether you use it to take a lot of map control and positioning, or whether it's like you ball it up and take some good fights with micro, it'll be interesting. So we get a forward castle going up in, I think, a really good spot, protecting the 3 golds, protecting a wood line, booming behind it with 2 more TCs, so he'll be on 3 TCs.
Ooh.
Whereas the Persian player isn't even on 3 TCs yet with that earlier castle time. So
yeah, he's 12 vills behind as well, and there's villagers exposed forward. I mean, can I just say one thing? The way that William the Conqueror defended, attacked, and now is going to boom tells me this could be a top 5 player.
I agree.
Immediate 3 TC, has enough food to produce out of all of his town centers. Castle position's perfect. Red, he just didn't expect the sneak. The slightly F2F strategy worked.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I really thought it was a mistake at first going forward like that, but in retrospect, it definitely paid off. And I think if you go back and you look back at this game so far, I think if you look at the big thing, it's that middle archery range. Because that sneak wouldn't have done too much if there were, 4 skirms with fletching and armor in that base. It would have been a lot harder for them to push in. The scouts could have come back and cleared it up a little bit earlier. I think he took a lot of damage just by not being able to support his economy with military.
Yeah, and the players are pretty close together too. So I feel like it's listen, I might not be able to talk about archer ranges when it comes to islands, but when it comes to Arabia, trust my judgment on that, guys. 55 villagers for William, 3 TCs pumping, and I believe for Henry, he's going to be on 3 as well. I just feel like if you have to rebound economically, you're probably not going to have a ton of resources to also make knights or skirmishers or whatever it may be.
So you're in that awkward position where you kind of have to invest in eco and you kind of have to invest in military, and
Yeah.
you can't really do either well.
Yep.
So,
But it's the right play to go for
rough.
eco and then try and hold and defend. For William, you've got to sense this. You should know you have a lead. And he also sees the range. He's going to ram it down. Oh, it tilts me still. Just get rid of it. Get it out of my sight. Oh, I can't stand it.
I bet you're very happy about this game. This is like, I love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that it's getting punished because it should. Look, he runs all the way back to chase the plumes, and
Yeah.
man,
This is hard, and it's also, I mean, the plumes are just so strong. They nerfed them a little bit in DE. They cost a little bit more in like the last patch, but
Yep.
it hasn't done a whole lot just because the mobility that they have. Knights aren't really a problem for them. You can avoid taking fights that you don't want. And skirms, their skirms have been chasing the plume for the last, like, well, since they've existed. So
Yeah.
it's hard.
Look at that. Look at that KD. It doesn't really tell you much, does it? 27 kills versus 21, but the amount of
Right.
control from William's huge.
The
And-
position
oh my
is just a
god.
lot
He
different.
had archers in the tower on the left, and he just walked in. He just walked in.
No. Whoa. Did he even... I wonder how much he thought about that ahead of time. Like, if he's just like, oh, I've got archers here, or if that was like he was keeping them there for like the right moment.
I think he was,
I don't
because
know.
last I checked, and you know, there's only so much we can talk about, he had that tower shooting that 1 weak wall. So I think that he's been thinking about that for a long time. And another group of plumes. I mean, he has plumes everywhere. He
The
has
control
mangonels.
is so good. I don't know if you saw this, but the skirms come in on the back, and he moved them. I mean, they're going to get killed anyways, but the archers pull back like right away, even
Yeah.
when he's pressuring on the front. He's just all over the place. It's really, really strong play from William
So
the Conqueror.
I don't think, and I hate to freak out here, I don't want to exaggerate. I don't think that we have seen the Viper yet. I think Katyan Khan was Hera.
I agree.
And while there were some really strong players that got results, I've yet to feel like I saw Viper. And I'm not saying that, you know, Game 1 Arabia necessarily means it's Viper. But it's
Right.
something
I
to
like where
keep
your
in
head
mind.
is at, though. I
Yeah,
like it.
because we have 2 best-of-5s left in the round of 16. He will be seen. Viper Leary, I'm still very unsure on. Hera, I feel like I have spotted. And
Oh, look at this castle coming forward.
wow.
Oh, man, and that's going to go up. That's devastating. There's no way that gets denied. The Siege Workshop was killed. It's hard for me to see Henry coming back from this position.
Wow.
It's not about the KD. It's not about the eco. It's about the position.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
map, all purple, basically.
Yeah, just look at this, guys. Matt doesn't have it, but you can see all the blue and the Imperial Age behind it.
Oh, my gosh. That's just domination, and the GG's called.
Wow. All right. Well, William the Conqueror is looking very strong in Game 1, and Henry the Lion, I hope you learn your lesson. I hope you don't build archer ranges forward. I mean, I get the forward idea. And this is before we even break down what William did with the forward, but going 4 villagers forward is standard to pressure the gold. That was good. What was also really weird, do you remember he built the outpost? He hesitated.
Yeah.
He could have
No,
gone
I agree.
immediately for the tower, and William the Conqueror was still in Dark Age, and then the rest of the towers were fine, but just go full eco. There was a point where he would have been in Castle Age well ahead, and go skirm. And if you go full eco skirm into Castle Age, I think Henry the Lion ends up winning this game, actually, because he would have been
Yeah.
so much faster to Castle Age. He still ended up being so, but he lost too many villagers next to this tower.
So that makes me think, like, if he cleans up some of those mistakes, like, I feel like we haven't seen enough to know the strength of the play yet. So I'm eager to see the next game.
Yeah, you're definitely right. It's just
I
one
think
moment.
that was just a big mistake.
Yeah, one moment through the game there. 38 kills, 30 deaths for William. Oh, wait, hold on. Chat can't see it. Here you go. There's the KD. Look at the economy, though. The food, wood, stone, gold. This all stemmed from the feudal age forward for William the Conqueror. We have to see more. Because it could just be a player who's outrageously good on Arabia. Like
Right.
MBL, that could be an MBL thing right there. He is the guy, the only pro who tried the F2F strategy. So maybe that's MBL. His best map is probably Arabia.
Yeah, well, let's see. Let's see what we got.
Yeah, sure. Well, this means now that we go to one of the home maps for Henry the Lion. What's fascinating to me is that he also globally bans Khmer and Slopes, which tells me he might not be one of the fastest players. I don't know. But he's gone for cross and bay. Looks like a very water-heavy player. We'll hop into game number 2 right now, Matt Salsa.
Okay.
And what do we have here? I think the colors are going to flip-flop for me all the time. Oh, no, they're not. Perfect. Okay, so welcome everyone to game number 2. This is in a best of 5. This is the second to last best of 5 in the round of 16. Yeah, everyone thought it was going to be bay, but it's actually cross. And both players have gone for Japanese. So Persians versus Mayans game 1. There's cross, there's bay, there's some maps where Japanese could be favored, but both players here are probably prepared, and they like the Japanese pick, Matt.
Yeah, honestly, just going back 1 second, I feel like the Conqueror ban is really interesting. I feel like that's somebody that like fears Viper.
Whoa, look at the lame. Look at the lame.
Wait, that fast? Where?
I mean, he's not laming, but Henry the Lion hasn't even found his own resources yet, and he's running forward to steal resources.
Wow.
That MBL?
And you know what? The last game kind of had those vibes at the beginning with the boar issues, like
yeah,
and then the house to save it. I think you're thinking in the right direction. I agree with you.
Maybe. All right. Well, he didn't find anything, right? It's risky to do this.
He went the opposite direction.
Yeah, I will say this, guys. MBL also picks color 6. It has the color right there. We are switching the colors, though, because blue and magenta can give people who are colorblind problems. But hold on. If it's MBL, he goes for it immediately.
I mean, why would you send your scout forward and not go for it immediately? I feel like he's just not watching the scout right now or something.
What if he's worried now about not finding his own sheep and he's going to send his scout back?
Oh. That's so bad, though. That's like, if you go forward like that, I feel like you almost have to capitalize once you see those boars. Like,
it's weird.
Otherwise, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. Because did William find? No, William didn't find any extra sheep.
Well, I'm just looking. I'm trying to break this down. He's come back to push deer. He knows where his sheep are, so I guess it's not the end of the world, right? But I'm surprised.
It just intrigues me. You would think if it was MBL, or I honestly think a lot of players would have taken the boar there. I don't know why you would go forward like that and not take it if you're not too worried about your own stuff.
Well, it's so funny. William played the safe approach. He found his resources and then went forward to scout, and he's gonna find 3 enemy sheep.
He found, yeah.
So he might not get these, but if he wants to, he could end up turning around and killing the sheep. Like,
this could be really interesting right here. Let's see what they end up doing. So scout fight starting, boar coming in for Henry. Sheep are still running, and the sheep are going to be safe.
Yeah, William will just
nothing
bail.
Too eventful.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean,
he did take he took more scout damage. Not a big deal, but
he stole 100 food to the right side, and the scouts are actually really important on cross. That's possibly an argument against going for lames, because if you have low scout HP, you can't snipe villagers building docks on ponds, which on this map, guys, and William gets the hill. Really close fight.
William's still lower, like 4 HP lower. It's 33 to 29.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna admit some of my own inexperience here. I've never casted cross before, so tell me more about kind of how this should play out. I've seen a lot of players fighting for enemy pawns, so like docking enemy pawns has been really interesting. I think there was one game yesterday that I saw where the game was almost won because in the top right pond they got a dock up and surprised with fire galleys with an earlier uptime. Tell me more about cross.
So it's actually, it depends. Sorry, but it depends. Right now we have a mirror matchup, and it is specifically a Japanese mirror matchup, which changes how you play cross. In any other matchup, you could be aggressive and you could try and get just one dock in an enemy pond. One dock fire galleys means you would have the potential to snipe fishing ships. But in a Japanese war, because both players have fishing ships, which are tanks, if you go one dock fire ship in feudal age, normally, unless you have 3 fire galleys or more, you're not going to take out any fishing ships. They can defend, and it's fine.
It's time to react.
Yeah, so what it turns into, you're fighting for pawns, and here Henry the Lion's coming forward. But there's a defender's advantage, and I would say that you don't want to show your hand on the pawns until you're sure you're going to get a big advantage. Henry the Lion's sneaking right now, so maybe with the dock in the south, he'll go. And Matt, I have a few more things to say about this. Because pawns are exposed and because this is a common strategy, sometimes you'll see someone in blue's position fish long distance to the shoreline on the opposite side just so he could use that as a scout. So I'll be interested to see if William spots the fact that Henry's going down there.
Interesting. And also, when you say fish long distance, are you talking about like a Vil fishing and...
No, just a fishing ship, pull it over to the one fish,
I see.
and then it'll travel a little bit, but you then know if an attack is coming. William the Conqueror is going for a barracks in the middle of the map, and it looks like he wants to go man-at-arms. So the approach is actually different. One's going water, and one is going for the land. That was a lot to say.
No, that was good. I think the fishing ship strategy that you talked about is really interesting. They're not doing that, and that would have probably saved William a little bit of a headache if he knew that dock was there. But he's got a Vil coming forward on the right, and he's going to scout that.
No, he won't. He won't.
No! What is the Vil doing?
She's building See, he wants to wall it off, so he wants to build houses and wall it off.
Too late.
Well, let's see if the dock... I mean, the dock line of sight should see the Vil.
Well, at this point, he's hopefully going to see something.
Look, there's the fishing ship. There's the fishing ship. See, he saw the Vil, he thought about it, and I really feel like this could actually be kind of bad for Henry the Lion, because I don't know if he's going to be able to snipe any fishing ships here.
Right,
and then William the Conqueror...
that tower's not going up.
Yeah, I don't think so. And then William the Conqueror also has man-at-arms, so this could be dangerous. But Henry the Lion also scouted that. Man, this, I hate to like jump the gun here, but this feels like it could be Viper MBL or something, because MBL would definitely go for the forward, and I think Viper would play more defensive. Yeah,
totally.
Wow. And now the wall from William the Conqueror.
Oh, here he goes, and he's stuck.
And now another dock from Henry, which could mean he could actually win this pond.
How did that militia get in the wood line for Henry? Did it walk through the TC?
Probably just walked right through. I'm jumping the gun, but this feels like we have the two Norwegians, man. I don't know.
I would put money on that.
I don't know though. It's just the level of play is really good. It was good in game one if Henry the Lion wouldn't have made that mistake. Also, this is the second time that the red player has gotten pop capped because he's not building houses. Yep, this this looks like it could be MBL.
Literally.
Oh man.
There's a spearman underneath the TC for William.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
He's doing that because he's focused on in the south. The ponds are way more important than land right now. And the Vil's just gonna chill there apparently. Dude, the fishing ships are down.
Oh, this is bad. The Vils are... Look at this. The fishing ships are down. A Vil dies trying to take out that tower. There's two Vils just chopping wood in harmony. Did you see that for a second there?
This isn't a love story, okay? This is a
war. Oh my gosh. That's one of my favorite moments so far. It was like 2 seconds of joy.
Okay, let's see. Henry the Lion loses the Vil finally, but he's cleared out the fish. And he has some archers on the way. I mean, incredibly scrappy stuff, but it's 32 eco versus 27. Having the safe dock in the north is huge for Henry the Lion.
Yeah, and the militia haven't done anything. Basically no damage. Maybe a little bit of idle time.
Oh, man, what a start.
Yeah, this is strong for Henry, and it does feel kind of MBL-style play.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. What I was expecting there was for William to defend a bit better, and then to possibly do more with the infantry, and it has not happened at all. So Henry, after that wonky strategy, that forward in game one, looking to be in a nice position now, even if blue redocks here, or sorry, wins the water again and adds more fishing ships. It's still super expensive.
One of the things that people normally talk about more so in Imp as it relates to like Vil count and eco is it doesn't necessarily matter the number of villagers or fishing ships you have, it's how long they're working, right?
Yeah.
Like if you have more earlier and they're working for a longer period of time, it doesn't really matter who has more.
Yep.
The eco is going to favor the person that has had the sustained economy, right? So for that reason, even if the fish come back up on that south pond, which I mean might happen, might not happen, it doesn't really matter. I think there's still a strong lead for Henry.
Oh, well, William, that was sloppy for Henry. He sent skirms out, but the militia and the scout got some value.
Yeah.
But here come archers, and the archers do have fletching. Villagers could die here. Villagers could die on the gold. Wow. I think one will die. You can commit to it. Got him.
Yeah.
And now just run away. You've done damage. You see skirms. Probably just run away is the way to go. And you will be able to defend. Again, we see Henry with the houses, man. I'm getting less Viper vibes with William the Conqueror now, but holy MBL.
Yeah.
Henry the Lion.
It does feel like the last maybe 5 minutes of this game, I was about to say Viper. Feels like William took his foot off the gas a little bit.
Yeah.
I think he does have fish on the other pond, the other southern pond.
Oh, that's Matt. That's huge. If he has 3 fishing ships there, and there's only 4 in the north for Henry.
Yeah. So, you know what I would have liked to see, actually? Those archers that are running back, you're not really going to get value out of the archers. Check the pond, you know?
Yeah.
Like, run over to that pond. That's where, like, the game shift is going to come from. It's not whether you keep those 2 units alive.
Or, at least in this position, you have fletching, you have more land military. You check the pond, send a villager over, and dock now. I think that could still be a good play.
Yeah.
But it's a scrappy one here, and it was a scrappy one in game 1, and... Normally, as the days go on, I get more bored because I've seen so many games. But the games have gotten so much better throughout the day today.
Yeah, I agree.
Really cool. Well, this wood line is really helpful for William the Conqueror. Like, this wood line is a massive wall for him. He does need to track the archers and skirmishers that Henry are sending to the left side right now.
You know, we had a couple things that made us skeptical about the Viper, but you do know the map hacks, so if there's any map hacks, it's this wood line that's protecting basically half the base.
Yep. Yeah, you're definitely right
gold's
there.
In the back, definitely strong for William.
Probably the biggest complaint that people... nice split.
The micro.
That was sick. That was a confident bit of micro. I don't think Henry should ever fight here either.
He's going to lose all the art. Well, I would have thought that he would have shot the archers, but...
See, I'm curious about this one, because if there's 2 archers go down, yeah, oh my god, William's just going to cut him off, he's going to take out the archers, and then the scout's going to mop up the rest.
Will they run into the pond? Probably not. They're going to sit on that hill.
Yeah, I mean, just 1 scout should be fine, and that's good cleanup for William. What a great play from him to dock the left side when he realized he had trouble.
Look at the number of fishing ships there. Like, it's... And he's taking the southern pond back. Yep. So in what was like a moment of like uncertainty, it's kind of shifted it a little bit.
Yeah, and also one thing I probably should have said earlier is Henry didn't fish much in the north. He only had 4 fishing ships. He could have had like 7 or 8, but he invested more into farms. He is docking the right side, which can be helpful, but the fact that this swung from a 5 eco lead to a 5 eco deficit for Henry is really bad.
Yeah, but it does go back to what we were saying, where the fishing ships have been working longer for Henry. At a certain point, it's going to shift back over, right?
True.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, so Blue has this Vill here. William, this is a nifty wall. If he builds a house on the left, that forces most of Red's aggression this way. Oh, wait, hold on. Did the outpost spot? Oh, the outpost spotted the villagers, so she might actually die. Castle Age now for William. And there's a Vill from William going to the other pond. We're about to have a Vill fight. We had 2 lumberjacks chopping in harmony earlier. Might have a villager fight there. Red just needs to click up, man. I'm really surprised Henry the Lion hasn't clicked up. And the more I see this, the more I think against a top 5 player. He should have been in Castle Age already.
This has been such an interesting, like, 2 games because the level of play has, like, shifted within the game so many times.
Yep.
It's fascinating to me.
All right. I mean, it's so fun to speculate. The reality is, when you're looking at top 16, what separates the people who might be from 5th to 16th is that they're not as consistently brilliant. And the people in the top 5, the Viper, the Hera, the Leary, the MBL, the Tata, whoever you have there, they're more consistent with decisions. So the more inconsistency you see throughout a series, the higher up in the order of players they are. This is
and building
interesting.
on that point,
Yeah,
I
go
think
ahead.
if you think about how people classify Viper, like what makes him really strong is fundamentally the consistency,
Yeah.
right? Like, and we didn't actually see consistency from William the Conqueror in this game, but
It was
just something to consider.
yeah, I mean, I think
there was the one moment. I guess I should clarify. There was the one moment where it kind of dipped a little bit,
yeah,
right?
it's
with
hard.
the
It's hard to
taken.
find the right words to convey your feelings sometimes.
I'm finding that out.
Yeah, it's tough because you don't want to be too brutal. But then again, we
Yeah.
just assumed it was Viper MBL based on 5 minutes of a cross game. So,
Fair point.
like one pick that people were mentioning is Backed, who actually has been brought up a lot during Hidden Cup 3. He likes to lame early, and then he tends to have good strategy, but then also he does drop off at times with, like, I guess, finishing off games. So chat's saying that right now.
We'll keep an eye out, see how it progresses.
Close game, though, Matt. 82 population versus 80. Both players will be in Castle Age in a moment. However, Elite Skirm is in really early for William the Conqueror. And Elite Skirmisher counters everything Henry the Lion has right now.
Is there a stable from Henry anywhere?
Yeah, it's
this
right
is the
next
kind
to
of
the
time
skirms
you need
now.
a siege workshop or... oh, there's a stable duff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has armor, but William the Conqueror saw it, so he should realize, alright, I either need my own knights or I need to back up. And he's actually sending one of his own knights forward.
Right.
Second town center and third town center. This is just like in the previous game. He's really quick to go for the town centers and the economy.
Right. He threatens a little bit, he pokes the bear, runs back, and sits on the eco.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, look at the sneaky dot from Henry! Are you kidding
it's got
me?
3 fires going up in it. All those fish are going to die.
Oh,
but there's
my
a
goodness.
galley that's in the wrong spot. How did that happen? That galley is patrolling. How did that Vil get there?
I don't know how long the Vil's been there. The Vil's built quite a few houses. Remember I said in Dark Age how if you wait till Castle Age and wait till you have fires, then you clean up the pond.
It's exactly what you were saying.
That's perfect. Oh, William's going to be so pissed off about that.
I would be so frustrated if I made the galley and I'm like, this is totally fine. And then 3 fire ships show up and kill everything.
Yeah, that will swing it right back into Henry the Lion's control. And if he maintains control of this too, that's 3 pawns to 1. But another thing I want to mention about William is he's doing the right thing and he's already been switching into farms. So fishing ships are good, but fishing ships give you a lot of food so you can get villagers, and then with those villagers you should be creating farms. So that's not something that we've seen as much from Henry.
Right. The fish difference is going to matter a little bit less the more the game goes on, especially with how early William was on 3 TC, right?
Yeah.
Henry just finished his 3rd TC, so... Or wait, is that only 2?
Well, Henry's working on getting one, but this is an interesting fight, and the micro's been good from both. Again, I'm seeing a lot of confidence in these fights from both of them. Neither player hesitating. I don't think they should either. It's such a close... So close with the army compositions that either player could probably win. Only thing is, skirms are more vulnerable.
Really right now.
Yeah.
I think if you can get the skirm onto the archer, you take the knights out of the equation. The skirm knight is probably the stronger pair, but if you lose the knight numbers, one knight can mop up all those skirm, right?
Yeah, no bloodlines on the knights, and you have enough knights there in front for William the Conqueror, and full armor, full attack on the skirmishers. Lead skirm's working, and it couldn't be closer. 28 military versus 32, 72 eco for both of them. This is a ridiculous game.
I love this series so far.
Yeah, you got lucky, man. There were a couple 3-0s.
I definitely, I've been watching, and some of the games have been kind of good. Others have been really good. These have been consistently a lot of fun to watch.
And look
Even
at
the first one with the weird stuff.
Look at William trying to sneak Vils to this dock, but there's a war galley there patrolling. So that's one way Henry's going to stay in this game, is keeping the pawns.
Yeah, that's strong.
Wow. All right. Well, I love this new casting overlay. I know you don't have access to it, but I can see that it's 32 on food for Blue or for William, and it's just 27 for Henry. So he has taken a hit there, and he is only on 2 town centers, and he might not even be able to win this fight. Let's see. No, he'll be good. He'll be good. That's enough knights. Whew. I had that in crossbow and I just saw William research it, so I cheated. But if you go skirm combines with crossbows, then the knights pose less of a threat to you.
Right. You take out a big risk with fighting, because the thing about having a full square army in general is if you're out of position and a single knight shows up.
Yeah.
But if you have the archers in there, it reduces your risk. It reduces what you're countered by.
So. William's micro is sick. It is really, really good. He's still winning fights, and he's being extremely bold. And this is on top of all of the economy he's doing, too. This is a sick, sick player.
If I had an army like this, I would be sitting in my base, right? Like, if I know that there's knights in the field and my army is, 75% skirm, like, I'm not going to be out here, like, trying to take these engagements. Like, I mean,
I'm getting more Leary vibes than anything right now, because Leary, look how often the units move. Like, you'll see units moving from side to side. It's constant. There's no hesitation. Anytime a unit can shoot, the unit fires. You're seeing it time and time again. It's really incredible. And now a forward siege workshop. This is something that Henry probably thought he would clean up, and now William is on the way to the Imperial Age.
What?
This is after he lost the pond on the left. This is disgusting.
Wow.
Wow. Well, top 5 vibes from William the Conqueror. Henry has shown extreme promise. It's just small things. Again, probably a best of 5 where we have a big name against a big name. We just don't know which big name, because now Henry's on the way to Imp.
Yeah, so fascinating. And what do you think as far as compositions in Imp? I mean, do you just go Arbalest? I feel like that's the strongest way to get that power spike.
It's just Skirmisher, Arbalest, and the only reason you go for Arbs is so you can do a bit more damage versus the Mangonels and against Eco. And then it actually switches into a lot of just Skirmisher too. Japanese Imperial Age in a 1v1 mirror is actually kind of boring. Because that's all it turns into for a while. But I'm looking at the minimap, and yes, red has some outposts, but I see blue's trying to branch out, even building a tower on that stone on the left, and if that goes up, it's just a lot of good map control for him at the moment. On top of the fact that... Ooh, another tower?
Yeah, there's a tower on the left. They're trying... Oh my gosh. Do you see on the... I don't know if this is the one you're talking about. On the north side, in the center of the map, William's trying to put a tower right next to that TC. He doesn't know about the TC. Well, he does know about... Oh, I guess he doesn't...
Well,
yeah, that's not gonna work.
It's just the decision to go tower here is fascinating.
It feels MBL to me. MBL's the kind of guy... Do you remember in Hidden Cup 2 or 1, that one game where... It was the best game, and I forget what map it was on, but MBL won it by just, like, stalling the game out, towers all over the place.
Towers on woodlines, yeah.
Yeah.
I love how we have said Viper, MBL, and Leary so far for this William the Conqueror player.
I know.
We have said a lot of big names, and Henry is definitely a big name because of how good he's played, but he's just slightly behind right now. Such a close game. They're both at 162 pop. They're both at 162 population. When do you see this? This is incredible.
I think the thing that changes these fights for William is the RAM, right? Because if you're going for a full archer composition, there's not a lot of knights on the field. Having that many, even just 4 rams in the battle can soak up so much damage. There's the mangoes in the back. It's going to come down to micro, and we've seen really strong micro from William.
Wow.
This right here could be a really... This is a death ball army if it's microed correctly.
Yep, it's the rams in front. No siege ram, so it's pretty awkward, but it looks like Onager will be the choice for Henry, if he even has a siege workshop standing to research it. Oh, don't research it in that siege workshop.
No.
That's not going to complete, man. He does have a castle, and I like that because the downside of building towers for William is, yes, you get map control, but then you can't make trips. Oh, man. Henry is hoping and praying. Go ahead.
Me being slightly naive. Has Viper ever done this like late castle, early imp towering stuff with?
I mean,
maybe the Yazama is what he's thinking about.
In a competitive game, I've never seen it, but Viper, he's done everything in rated games, so it's like, oh no, it's gonna be a down Onager upgrade. No, it's at 90%.
86%. No, it went through.
This is fine. It's fine. It was calculated. All right, not doubt confirmed. 3 Onagers now and a bunch of crossbows and skirmishers for Henry.
This is, I mean, I feel like William can deal with this, but it is kind of dangerous, right? When you have that many skirm and 3 Onagers sitting there.
I think Henry needs it. There's 20 more military now for William, and William has towers everywhere, so you need to breathe, and you need your gold and stones there. It's just a matter of restricting access to resources and denying map control if you're William. And he's going for his own Onager upgrade. He's gone for the safe approach. I like it.
Yeah, fall back. You know that you have the advantage in terms of map control. Don't let yourself take fights that are going to swing the game back. Now, I love the castle, like you talked about earlier, from Henry in the middle, and he's trapping TCs. He's taking some of his own map control, mining one of William's wood lines to the left of the castle over there with archery ranges to support it.
Yeah.
He's pushing back. I don't know if it's going to work, but he's doing the right things.
Well, Onager is paying off a little bit. The problem with so many towers is it takes forever to take them out. It takes like 5 minutes to clear out the amount of towers. Look at Red's map and look how much is blinking. Look at the mini map. Everything's getting hit. The docks got rammed down on the right side. Now that is something I feel like a shift back towards the maybe thinking Viper might think to ram down the docks. I have
either
no
of them
clue.
researched Yazama yet?
Yeah, Yasama's already in, I believe, for blue, right? Yeah, I think he researched Yasama. Oh.
Yeah.
This is
super strong, especially versus the Onager, right?
Yeah. This is awesome. To the people watching, this is just a treat. I always think back to Hidden Cup 2 and the sets of games in each round, my favorite games, and this has every bit of feeling like a series we're going to look back on a couple of years from now.
And look how close the score is. It's 150 points away at this stage in the game.
Yeah.
That's quality. You know that you're looking at something good.
And Blue had the right game plan with towers, but then since Red went for the early castle, he has access to these trebs. And so Blue has kind of fallen back a little bit. And Red is taking this stone, so he has a lot of stone in the bank. It's quite a close game. Now, no relics collected for players. That's interesting. The relics you'd have to transport to get, or take the one in the center. Oh, and big Onager shots here for Blue. He just can't keep track of everywhere he needs to be, and he's losing skirmishers, Matt. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh! Ah! Oh, that was sick, micro from William.
That was really great.
He'll take
he lost the skirms, right? But I feel like that was at least even, if not better, for William.
Henry, are you serious, dude? Don't micro that. Are you serious about that castle? Henry.
No, why is this happening?
Oh, no.
Now it's doubt. All of a sudden, the whole chat is just going to be like, oh, it's doubt now.
Yeah, doubt confirmed. We're so reactionary. We don't contribute to people being reactionary at all, do we?
No, not at all.
Yeah, it's definitely just chat.
Perfectly balanced and reserved in our opinions.
As always, you know, we're professional. We're professional.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. I wouldn't bring you in here if you weren't. Well, Blue seems like he's still in a better spot. He has 4 trebuchets, and he made sure he was patient with it, so Red wouldn't have the time to react. And he's going to start pushing Red in the middle, where all those archer ranges were. I actually see murder holes on the way for Henry the Lion, which is freaking hilarious, because you never see that at the high level. That castle's down now for Henry.
And this is something interesting. I've been getting a little bit of coaching from Doubt. I don't know. This doesn't mean that it's him. A lot of players do this. But one of the things that he's been really like hammering home with me, and part of his style is it's not about his micro. It's even not about necessarily his eco. It's about moving out and taking fights at the right time. It's like knowing like, okay, I have 4 trebs. I can go take that castle. It's about swinging the game at the right times. And that's what William is doing here. I'm not saying it's doubt, but
of course,
it is something that he's doing that, right? He's taking the fights at the right time.
And
he fell back a little bit.
Yasama wasn't in before. I was incorrect, so Yasama's now coming in. I feel like you're spot on with that, and it was almost instantly after William saw Henry ram pushing the left that he decided to push the center, thinking there wouldn't be military there to protect it.
Right.
Unbelievable. Now, Red is barely keeping this castle up. And I thought it was going to go down. I just looked back here and it's still up. So he is not going down quietly. Well, the one that was almost, well, we thought would be a doubt castle. But look at the level of micro. We have skirms microing against 2 onagers. This is incredible. We have both players ramming down buildings. Blue is raiding with light cav. This is an unbelievable game.
I love this, and it's all over. The whole map is just like there's action everywhere.
Yeah.
There's not one place where there isn't something going on right now.
Look, oh, I was just about to say, look at the micro, and that's what happens when you dance with the devil. And all the GG's called. Henry taps out. He doesn't think he can do it anymore.
Wow.
Oh man, I mean, the more I look at it, There's still a tower standing on the stone. There's still this tower here to the left of Blue's base, ranging the wood line. Blue, obviously, with the amount of trebs, is going to start taking out the siege workshop. It's probably just a matter of time till he trebs down that castle too.
How do you stop the middle? That's the problem, I think.
Yeah, like, you can't even take your wood line on the right. You just can't go anywhere. And Blue had access to golds everywhere you look. What an unbelievable game. Now, I begin to feel a bit bad, but this is Hidden Cup. Henry the Lion is a beast, but he's up against a stronger beast right now. This does not look like a 2-0. This is something that if it was a best of 7 could go on all day. But 2-0 for William the Conqueror. Who is this player? My God. All right.
Really good games. We've been saying it the whole time, but yeah, I'm saying it again.
I just hope it's not a 3-0 because it's so fun to watch.
Yeah. Well, I am ready for the next one when you are. What we got coming up?
Well, we'll talk about that in just a moment. I'm curious about the gold mining and stone mining because William had a lot of stone, it seemed. There's the KD. And wow. Okay, William had more food. He had more wood. He had more stone, and he had more gold. And gold was the biggest one. I think it was the gold to the right side for Henry, next to that castle that was still standing. He couldn't take that for a while. And it actually came down maybe even to the third town center. Because remember, Henry he killed fishing ships in the left pond, but then he couldn't get that third town center up for a while, and that might have made all the difference with the Imperial Age times and all the economy we see here. Yeah, Matt, let's talk home maps, because Cross was one of the home maps for Henry. He now knows he's up against a really good player. And, oh, great, we have Bay. Awesome. With Khmer bands, well, not that we've seen Khmer here before, we'll probably not see that. Been seeing a whole lot of Mongols. And Matt, let's go into game number 3.
Let's do it.
We've been seeing a whole lot of Mongols. However, William the Conqueror, who has conquered... Whoa! He said sec door. Sorry, go. He has a door!
Well, I mean, who has a door in this, group of 16 players? That's what we got to be thinking about.
Yeah, I know. We really need to have layouts of their homes. How close was he to the door to hear it?
No, Viper has Debbie. Debbie would answer the door.
He would. He would definitely answer the door for her in the middle of a tournament game, wouldn't he? Yeah. He would have a full-on conversation in the middle of a tournament game.
Yeah.
Oh, we have to get their Facebooks and look for their relationship statuses. Do they have roommates? Do they have girlfriends?
Right.
Oh.
Well, don't encourage the chat to dox anyone.
That's
but yeah,
true.
Let's do
that. and then it's like, who doesn't have any friends? Who would never have anyone come to the door? Anyways, William the Conqueror has gone for Italians here, and I was wondering when someone was going to think about this, because we don't have... Wait, hold on. What was that statistic? Can I see that again? Likely pauses per 100 matches. Lan is first place, 7.4 out of 100. Viper is third place. Ooh, okay, that's pretty damning evidence right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doubt doesn't care, man. I think Doubt, he's been married for how long, has kids, he doesn't care. He's like, they'll love me, I won't pause. We'll talk afterwards.
That's totally what would happen. I can hear Doubt saying that.
Okay, so Italians, a fantastic water civ. I think clearly, till it gets nerfed, if it gets nerfed, Italians are the best island civilization. They are less effective on hybrid maps because of their lack of land options, and I think that most pros are going for Mongols on Bay due to the hunts and the fast up times so you can combat for water and then fight on land, Matt. I'm loving the non-mirror matchup here.
And I also like it in terms of imp army composition, right? Because Genoese crossbow can do pretty well versus Mangudai. In fact, I haven't seen it, but I'm assuming they do really well.
Yeah.
Depending on the numbers and depending on how you get that going. And they have good options throughout the game to deal with Mongols. The only time where they're going to be weak is the first 2 minutes of feudal, right? Where you could have some kind of power spike from Mongol, or if the Mongol player really does get the full Mangudai production, takes out the castles, that's another option. Mongols also have the fast rams.
Yeah.
I would love to see Ferrari rams in a match like this. I don't know if we will. It's kind of a meme, but just for my sake. It's one of my favorite things to go for. You know how matchmaking works. Sometimes you get lower players, and 200 Mongol Rams is the most fun way to end that, in my opinion. But we'll see. That's all, my speculation.
Well, so on one hand, in most tournaments, I would say, as Blue goes out here to dock, in most tournaments, I would say you might not want to reveal your strategies for future rounds. But round 2 has already been played. That's Hidden Cup. The games are, everything up to the final has already been played. So if this is some super crazy strategy that's going to work really well against Mongols, and William the Conqueror moves on, he could surprise his next opponent in the quarterfinal, and then he could surprise his next opponent in the semifinal if he makes it there. Now, I saw this before, and I feel like people underestimate the Italians, because the Italians can definitely combat with Mongol uptimes. And I say that because I'm actually surprised that Blue is getting Loom. What? Is he creating an arena for himself? Why is he... Anyways, hold that thought. Because it's cheaper for Italians to go Feudal Age, they can get up at the exact same time as Mongols if Mongols don't push any deer. So that's just a fun little fact there. It was actually MBL who was co-casting a show match with me, I think. No, or it might have been Daniel, one of the high-level players, and they were surprised to see that.
Yeah, and I think what I'm thinking earlier is more about, I'm in the whole Arabia land map mindset, where that matchup looks a lot different in the first couple minutes of Feudal, right? Because you're going to be able to get the stable out, whereas the Italian player probably isn't going to be thinking about a scout opening versus Mongol.
Yeah.
Here, when it's about water, if you get up at the same time, the Italians are going to have a huge advantage with the cheaper dock stuff. So,
well, the Feudal Age times are identical. 9:18 for William, 9:17 for Henry. These are both players who have practiced builds and know what they're doing.
Can we talk about this walling from William real quick?
Viper would never wall.
Viper would never do this.
He would never do this. And there's one player who would play as good as Viper and look as dominant as Viper who would wall with one Vil early. He's also from Norway, and he likes pineapple on pizza. MBL.
Interesting. This is so fascinating.
Oreo.
I don't know if it's just that I'm here casting with you that makes me so much more invested in this, or if it actually really is just that much more interesting, because this is quality stuff.
I mean, the level of play we're seeing here is extremely high. I've also been known, people tell me that I make really boring things interesting, which I take partially as a compliment and also an insult.
I think it's a compliment.
Have I found boring games for you, or what is this? But
these games aren't interesting, but you make them interesting, T90.
Yeah, I don't know.
No,
well,
it's a compliment.
Check this out. Both the scouts very weak. Both the scouts 1 HP difference. It's so close. Now I'm curious on the repair meta. Both players have villagers waiting next to the shoreline. They will likely pull back their fire ships and repair. And wow, 3 dock commitment.
Dock.
I think that's too early. Because now his 1 dock isn't producing fires.
Yeah, you can't even afford it right now. You can't.
Yeah, that's a bit early for William.
Scout comes over. That's not going to be a problem.
Yep.
In fact, that was a weird fight for Henry to take. I feel like that might have been a patrol.
Okay, and William got housed temporarily.
Yeah. It's so funny because now, I'm feeling like William MBL vibes.
I know.
It's not Viper. There's no way. Viper would never wall. I feel like I went from being so certain at the beginning of the last game that this was Viper to 10% certainty.
Yeah, but yesterday I was pretty sure I saw MBL lose. So I don't know, man. Well, notice the difference though. The Mongol player is hunting, so they hunt 40% faster. That's where Mongols have an advantage here. So Italians are looking to take their advantage on water. I think for Henry, you're down 2 games. You've got to hold on water. If you win on water and you have the hunt, you're in a huge lead. But at least hold.
Yeah, it's interesting to me that the Italian player isn't way ahead on water right now.
Well, they don't really have any bonuses in Feudal Age beyond. I guess they have the cheaper fishing ships in Dark Age, but the bonuses come into play with the cheaper techs in Castle. Oh, and Henry did it with a big demo. Can he micro?
Wow.
Oh, a big demo there for Henry, or on
Both
Henry rather.
Good demo shots right there.
But yeah, Italians, they don't have any huge bonuses that really come into play here. Mongols actually do on Bay with the hunt. Ooh,
True.
another demo, dude. The demos hurt both players massively there.
Yeah, but I actually feel like it's been better for William because there were more numbers for Henry
Yeah.
in some of those fights, and now it's looking closer to even than it was before.
And something else to consider when talking about the player that might do this, I wouldn't see MBL as a player who would pick Italians here. So, you know, you come back to Mr. Yo, possibly. Again, he loves Mongols, don't think it. What about Tato? We thought we might have seen Tato earlier, but what if it was... What if Tato would be this prepared? Tato would definitely be a good player to pick Italians. There's so many players, but I'll tell you what, at least one fishing ship's gone down, so Henry's doing a good job right now.
Yeah, and I think... nope, just one for now. But the water... The way that Henry has been playing water...
Sorry.
Demo coming in?
2 demos. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it feels a little smoother for Henry in terms of the mechanics on water and the production on water.
I think with the home map picks, you know, we're talking about another giant in Henry the Lion. And he picked a lot of hybrid maps, like Cross and Bay. Could be someone like Nikov, who... is such a good player, played so good in the qualifiers, seed number 1, breezed through. I'm looking at the food right now, and it's looking very good for Henry. He's also making a stable, so maybe a few scouts. Though it's funny, I've seen so often where players in Williams' position up against Mongols will not even take the deer, and they will just add farms because it's too risky. And then the Mongol player knocks on the door with scouts, and it's useless. So... wow.
Yeah, and I don't know. Well, is Henry's Scout still alive? What happened to Henry's Scout, like starting Scout? I guess it died.
It just died to a fire gale. You can kind of see it to the right of his northernmost dock. It just died. And okay, William just lost his Scout, which is actually pretty huge because that was prior to him seeing the stable.
The stable.
Yeah.
I mean, it would definitely be more significant if he was taking the deer, right?
Yep.
I feel like they're both blind right now, and the blind decision that Henry is making is worse than the blind decisions that William are making, but it's not a big deal yet.
Yeah.
Oh, what's this Ville doing?
Which Ville?
There's a market. Okay. I thought they might have been heading out to the deer, William, on the...
Oh, I see. Just probably market... Yeah. Market blacksmith, possibly? Yeah. I mean, all of these ships are about to eject from these docks. There's a total of 9... Hey, Blue has more on water. There's 9 ships in there. 3 about to be 4. 3 about to be 4. 3 about to be 4.
Is it worth it to take it back?
Oh, that was such a good play. He pulled out the fires so he could get all of the enemy fire ships clumped up, so his demos would land, and William the Conqueror is back on water.
The value is so good there, but what I was going to ask is, at this point, is it... I mean, it's probably still worth it to go back on water, but that one fish is almost out.
I think with Italians you have to. With Mongols you can lose it. Like I said, you just have to hold. You don't have to win water, but you've done your job, sniped the fishing ships. But I think you definitely have to win it if you're Italians. Yeah, that's another pause. I know recently he's had a big reputation for pausing like big games, but I don't know.
You know, you said Bhakti earlier. Doesn't Bhakti have a reputation for pausing every like 5 minutes?
He does. I've probably guessed Bhakti about 4 different times.
Okay. So it's just like,
yeah.
Backed is everyone, you know, this doesn't say anything.
Yeah, it's hard to say, man. There's so many players who on their day can be a top 5 player, and then when they're off, they could just play awful, and Backed is one of those, and there's a few others too. Like ACCM earlier, I feel like it might have been ACCM. I talked to Nilly about it, but it would have been a disappointing result for him. So, okay, back to this game here. We have scouts on the field for Henry the Lion. There's not even a barracks for William. So William is definitely thinking full water control come Castle Age, as he should. From there, I think he booms, Matt. I don't think there's much more we see, except probably a second town center and a third.
One of the things about this situation that I find myself in all the time is, the scouts aren't doing damage to William, but what they are doing is securing the map, right?
Yeah.
So when William gets to Castle Age, he can't go out and put a TC on that stone. He can't run out and claim the map because there's just 3 scouts out there, and it might not be a lot, but it's going to prevent him from expanding, and so they're going to get value in a second here, I think.
Yep. What you can do is you can boom if you have fish. And I think Italians can be greedy enough and get away with this. Also, we haven't talked about the Genoese crossbow unique unit yet. William is on stone, so is actually thinking about that long term.
Yeah, and I was saying I'm eager to see how they fare versus Mangudai, right? Because they're great versus horses, but Mangudai are just so strong.
Yeah.
I actually don't know. I mean, it's one of the things that I haven't personally seen.
I'm not convinced with Genoese crossbow right now, but I think it's more so the fact, and we're about to see some of these docks go down for Henry as he tries to come back on water. It's more of the other options Mongols have, and the mobility versus slow Genoese crossbow.
Right. You can get around them, you don't take the fights.
Yep.
So, back to the whole thing about booming and map control. If you do boom in this situation, the problem with it is if the game progresses and you don't find a way to take back the map, you're at a huge disadvantage. So you almost have to do like a little mini boom into either like a castle, which I mean he's on stone. You have to start taking back the map at some point. You can't just sit in your base, especially on a map like this.
This is incredible. This is the highest level age I've seen in the tournament, I think. Despite the scoreline, this is unreal. The micro from both so good. Thought Henry would get wiped up on water there. He's still going to try and hold. They're investing a lot of resources into maybe 600 food, 700 food, 800 on water. So there's not that much to be gained from this. The key here, though, is town centers and the map control, as you said, Matt. That's why I love this map, because you can invest so much into water control, get water, but then if you don't have the rest of the map, you could be in real trouble. And Cav Archer for Henry, so he's actually going to stop any house walls behind and
He's really trying to capitalize on the fact that William can't leave his base.
Yeah.
If you have the CA out there, he's preventing expansion to the right. Just really good awareness about like where he needs to be. And I think a lot of players wouldn't have made CA in this situation.
Yeah, and he's definitely not going to commit long term. He just wants to be annoying.
Exactly.
I like it, and it's annoying and boom. Only 5 on food for William. He doesn't have that many farms, and he can barely afford to produce out of his town centers. Now he'll probably add the fishing ships, but oh wow,
Horse Collar's just coming in for William.
Wow, and 3 town centers for Henry. Henry does not have the eco lead, funny enough. It's 50 against 54, but I think the fact that he has Horse Collar, the fact that he has 3 town centers and more on food currently, and the map control means that he has a pretty big lead.
If you're in Henry's position right now, you add more fish, and he just did that. He queued up a bunch of ships.
Or
and by
William,
more fish, I mean... sorry, thank you, William. And he just queued that up now, so... Oh, here's the castle. Super defensive, super safe.
The thing is, if Genoese crossbowman is your ideal unit, you're at least starting to make it now. So, if you are making that now, and then the Mongol player is making Cav Archers, which is not your ideal unit. Yes, Mongol Cav Archers are good, but it's Mangudai. This could actually be a matter of just momentum for the map control.
It's interesting. This is like the most uncertain I've been about a game. The other games, they've gone back and forth a little bit. This game, I just don't know. I don't know what happens here.
Yeah.
Like, it could go either way, but I don't know if this makes sense, but if it's going to go either way, it's going to go either way in a big way, I think.
Yeah. I think this is going to come down to when Henry builds a castle, how many units he invests into that are not Mangudai. So he's barely on stone, and I think that's the right play, right? You want a trickle of stone here. If you go all in on stone, you won't have food and gold. But
and Mangudai are so expensive to get to that point.
And Henry's so active right now, Matt. And he also has added a siege workshop because he knows how weak Genoese crossbowmen can be versus those. So I don't like Genoese crossbowmen as a unit. I think they're too slow. You need a lot of upgrades. Very situational. I think they're a better team game unit,
and that wasn't the time
actually.
To move out right there either.
Yeah.
Like that, moving out when you have 2 Genoese crossbow and you know that there's 4 CA and a couple scouts on the map, you can't take that yet. So
yeah. quality, man. I love
like
the fishing
fact
ship
that he's
edition.
trying to expand, but
yeah, you just got to be patient.
Not
You've kind of dug your grave. You got to lie in it right now. And oh, he really wants the gold. Yeah, he really needs that gold secured.
Right.
Let's see though, 3 Genoese crossbowmen with bodkin arrow.
Nah, really? It's happening. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't think so, but they're strong.
Nice. So, I also want to say that it's extremely smart from William to add the fishing ships he has. He could maybe add 3 more, and with that, add some fish traps later on. Oh man, the micro is needed here.
They've...
Oh wow, 1 for 1. That was unfortunate for William. That villager blocked the Mangonel. If it wasn't for her, that would have been excellent micro, but denied.
Both of these players have been microing pretty well, I think. But maybe, do you think William is slightly in the micro lead in terms of skill?
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah, he seems like the faster player despite his strategy choice here. As I say that, he's going to screw up. Oh, you're kidding me.
No. Curse the commentator. That was so bad. Like, everything was great. There was no reason for that to happen right there.
Everything up to that point was high level. And again! Okay, William the Conqueror is bad at micro. And now he micros. Man, they just do the opposite of what I say, apparently. Well, Matt, I know you said you were nervous when... Oh, the demo on the left side!
Oh my gosh. That was huge, though.
Oh my goodness, what a play. I saw it sitting there, but I guess Henry didn't. I can't even get the words out of my mouth because so much is happening right now, but... we just crossed 30,000 viewers. I don't know if front page had any influence at this point. I know it certainly did on day 1, but to climb back to that, what perfect timing, man. I'm so kind of rooting for Henry. I really hope we see more games from these players because it's so sick.
I know. This is really, really great.
Wow.
Those CA dying are a big deal. Because, I mean, mainly this is about the siege transition right now and getting good trades. But just having that army advantage in the Genoese crossbow, I think, is meaningful, especially when you've been cramped up in your base. This is the time to start thinking about pushing out, taking this position back, getting a castle up there.
Wow.
And having less units on the field helps you do that.
That was some
really incredible micro.
Sick Mangonel micro from William. Yeah, he killed 3 Mangonels with 1. So he gets to breathe a bit. But I think Henry has done exactly what he would have wanted here. And you mentioned the Cav archers. I think at this point, he's probably going to build his castle and go for Mangadai. So, I think there are some players who make big mistakes with castle positions in this game. You would think, let's castle the center, let's protect the gold. But you have to think more long-term than that. I think you'll see most players, like Red's first castle will be here, his second castle would be here, his third castle would be here. I know you can't see it, Matt, but it's kind of in the line
I'm imagining
from the base to the belt, as people call it on this map. So, I think that's important. Sometimes the temptation can be too real to build forward castles, and then you just get trebbed down, and you regret the decision.
This is the kind of matchup where both players need the castles to stay up.
Yeah.
And making the castles forward, what you're saying is basically like you open yourself up to so much risk by doing that. And it's probably not worth it.
I wonder... I'm noticing at the moment that Henry the Lion has a lot of skirms. And he does not have his castle up yet. And I think William is noticing that skirms are being created, and he's getting scale barding. So instead of going straight Genoese crossbow, which is surely what Henry's expecting, he could go for something as crazy as Cavalier, or you could even open up with Hussar just to clear out those skirms and get map control. So I'm excited to see how this goes.
I think it's not that crazy.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense, right? Because as the Mongol player, if you don't have the Mangadai, what's your next best counter, right? It's Skirm. So
yep.
I can see that being the play where you mop up some of the Skirm using some Cavalier. It's not what you want to be in the whole game, but a mix can be really great.
Yeah, I think it's important that Henry knows that. I was even thinking he might go Onager. It wouldn't surprise me if he clicks Onager right away after his upgrades on Siege. Yeah, now he sees the stable. That's huge. Just seeing the stable tells him, okay, I need to add Mangadai with my skirms. Now, also another thing that there's so many resources on this map, but there's also relics. And Red walked all the way over here to get this relic. And look at this scouting. He has skirmishers on that 3-tile gold. He knows exactly where William will try and take resources.
Did you see the shot? Oh, the shot's in the middle.
Yeah.
There was almost... I mean, look at the HP on those skirms. That was almost huge.
Almost a double, right?
Yeah. That was crazy.
Again, Henry really likes forward archery ranges. I feel like he could have accomplished the same thing if he would have built the forward siege workshop and built the archery ranges further back. That bothers me, but you guys already know that. Still no Mangadai. And he's building castles in the same spot of the map. I don't like that because if you lose one, you're likely to lose the next. And he still doesn't have... Dude, he doesn't have a counter to Light Cav.
Is he afraid of the Genoese crossbow? Like, I feel like this is the kind of thing, like, why else wouldn't you be making Mangadai right now? It's like, you have to be afraid that they're going to die or you won't get the numbers up.
I don't know.
But in doing so, like, all full skirm is really bad. This whole army
is countered by Light Cav.
Everything that's being made right now is countered by Light Cav.
Yeah.
The Trebs, the Rams, the skirms, like, huge risk. And I feel like players should identify that problem. I mean, it doesn't seem like anything's being done right now to like fix this.
Well,
issue.
He does have 2 castles and he's producing Mangadai now. So the concern was that he wouldn't have... If he has maybe 20 of them, he's okay. Blue obviously feels like he doesn't have the numbers of them yet. Red is just trebbing down the stable, so he knows. And he's getting Husbandry, he's getting Parthian. He's going to take this gold. He's going to take this gold on the belt. I think the stones, though, the stones and the castle positions are the key, and that's for both players. And we're going to have this question answered again. Which post-Imperial army is better? Is it Italians or is it Mongols?
Yeah, and you know what? We might, this is my wishful thinking, we might see the drill rams at some point. It could work in this kind of scenario.
I think that's the big difference, is the siege.
Yeah.
This is, where are the Mangadai numbers? He has so few Mangadai. He has 6. He's losing so many skirms. Like,
this is so bad.
You saw the stables, Henry. You saw the stables. You have 3 relics. Just get more Mangadai out, please. But he is microing whatever skirms he has remaining against the Genoese crossbow, and the Genoese crossbow are not really upgraded. And the Mangadai haven't really. The numbers are still being maintained at least, so.
Right.
Something.
It doesn't. I mean, the most important thing is you don't lose them, right? Because the position isn't in. It's not in such a place right now where you need to take a huge fight. It's getting to that point. The most important thing is just going to be maintaining the numbers for Mangadai and getting them up. And as I say that, there's some losses being taken.
Yeah, I think Henry just had a massive brain fart over the last couple minutes. It was so clear. He saw the stables, and now he just placed a tower foundation there. Like, he felt like he couldn't fight this. Are Genoese crossbow freaking him out? What's happening?
If you're Henry, why are you fighting this right now? Why are you not backing up behind your castle?
Yeah, there's no siege there. Like, obviously a player that has the skill, obviously a player who knows the map. He's the extra golds right now. He's 25 on gold. He just needs to get Skirm and Mangadai. And I think Skirm and Mangadai still could save him. But William's coming forward with Trebs now, so he's gotta get the numbers quickly.
Right, and William's doing the smart thing where you don't go forward with 1 Treb, you go forward with 3, 4 Trebs.
Yes.
You don't trickle Treb in this kind of situation, especially versus Mangadai.
And
you have to kill the castle.
And we're seeing the lack of Mangadai. It's so evident, so obvious. All that William wants is that castle. He'll patrol his army in just so those Trebs can continue to work. And Henry knows he has to fight. Can he snipe the Trebs? He's repairing the castle. What would you do here? Would you snipe the Trebs? Is that enough Mangadai to do it, or?
It's so risky, right? Because let's say you snipe the Trebs and lose your Mangadai.
Yeah,
you'll never be able to replenish those numbers. Right? If you want to know what I would actually do, I probably would snipe the Trebs.
Yeah, same. I mean, I would snipe them as well. It just bothers me, man, because we saw this coming. But he will take out 3 Trebs now. With 3 relics to 1, you can still and still having castle numbers could be good. If you look to the table at the bottom left, shows 4 castles for both. So I still feel like Henry the Lion in a nice position, has a nice composition, 199 population. He actually has 162 vills, and William the Conqueror has 160.
Wow. And the scores are just absolutely neck and neck.
Yeah.
It just switched over there a second ago, like 20-point difference.
Yep.
Crazy.
It's also a relic right here, so if blue loses this castle, and maybe it's his turn to do so, that could mean that it's 4 relics to 1. And also seeing a bit of rating from William the Conqueror, but the Mangadai are there to deal with it. And there's already... Oh, there's even a castle on the hill for Henry, and Henry sees the castle from William, so this is looking really good for Henry all of a sudden.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about this fight in the middle, though. Like, back the Mangadai up, like, 2 steps into that, like, wood line.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
Oh, no.
I think it's okay.
Well, yeah.
I think it's just like Blue did a moment ago. He just wants to keep the Trebs protected so he can get the castle up. Or sorry, the castle down. So he's just taking whatever fight. He doesn't care too much about value as long as he has resources to produce more.
Fair enough. I think just the Mangadai numbers are just so important.
Yeah, you're right. Like maybe now the Trebs are going to go down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very micro-intensive because the skirms had to be used to take out the Genoese, and Blue says, all right, I killed your Trebs. Yeah, maybe Red should have waited for 3 or 4, just like we saw from Blue. But a siege ram wheels in, and there's a Treb next to that castle. Can William keep this castle up? The ram will get 2 hits. And, oh no. Oh no.
It's going to go down. It's going to go down. I think this Treb hit.
No, the
maybe not.
The Treb goes down. The castle stays up. Okay, so what is it? Well, I guess 99% of people here didn't read it, but my lovely mod Tarzis, he had a write-up about all the players. I recommend you check it out. It's on the Age of Empires 2 subreddit. It's also on AoE Zone. And he described Viper, and he hit the nail on the head. He said, Viper makes you earn your wins. And I think you could say the same for every player within the top 5. William's up 2 games. He's making Henry earn it. And Henry has been ahead in a lot of different ways. He, in my opinion, has the better civ for compositions. But William is continuing the push. And what is this fight right here for Henry? Henry's falling apart.
It just got mopped up.
Yeah.
Like, everything just got mopped up. The Genoese do so much damage to the Mangadai. Like, the Genoese, that little group of 6 of them is, I think, basically one-shotting Mangadai.
It's incredible. Feels like William is reinforcing a lot faster. Would you agree with me on that? And into the right areas.
And part of it is William's army has thus far mostly been Hussar, right? So you can reinforce that a lot quicker. He's got a lot of stables.
Yeah.
There's like, what is it, 9, 10 stables there? Whereas the bulk of Henry's army is going to be Mangadai, right?
Yep.
And castle production is slow.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Henry, he's actually making a switch into Light Cav and probably then Hussar. But if you're switching into that when Genoese crossbowmen have a bonus versus Cav, your Mangadai are countered and your Hussar are most definitely countered.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, and now the raids from William. William is giving me big Viper vibes. I didn't think I saw him yesterday. I think the really good player yesterday might have been Hera. It could be looking at someone who makes it to the finals in Hidden Cup 3 right here. William is spreading his wings with the Hussars. He's flying into the eco. He's building bombard towers at the top on the golds, and I'm not seeing any red pushing. This is ridiculously good.
Yeah, what a crazy game. What a crazy set of games.
Yeah, and Henry's a beast. Henry is a beast. Henry is a big, well-known name, a name probably most expected to go far in Hidden Cup. But this happens. It's random seeding. You don't know who you'll face. It can be animals facing off against each other in round 1. And I'm watching the population drop for Henry big time. 40 idle villagers out of the 100 that he has when it's 143 working villagers for William. Incredible.
It's hard to imagine in this kind of position like how you come back, right? Because typically when you're in this situation where you like lose a ton of army, you do a tech switch and you hope the tech switch is going to help. But the problem is the only tech switch for Mongols here like plays right into the hands of Italians, right?
I still think if you get 40 plus Mangadai, because of the mobility, it's good. Did he just make a Step Lancer? He made a Step Lancer. There, we saw one.
Like that's got to be a mistake.
Yeah, I highly doubt he wanted to make a Step Lancer. But he struggled with the Mangadai numbers. And he lost so many early on, and every time that he would try and save numbers, he would have to take a fight. He's even losing Mangadai to Hussar. You know, it's good value for William every step of the way.
Yeah. And I feel like he had resources. Like, this didn't have to happen.
Yeah.
Like, he could have made more Mangadai
but
earlier.
It's not... It's definitely not because Henry has ever played bad. It's Henry is playing amazing Age of Empires, but William is making him look bad with how quickly he's doing things. It's the type of conversation we have when we're talking the Viper. There's no, like, yes, Viper can quick wall and be flashy and do all these things, but usually he does not do that in serious games, and he's just extremely solid.
I feel like most, like, even like top 50 players would get completely mopped up by either of these players.
Yeah.
To your point, like, it's so strong.
I don't know though, man. It's like, it's hard to say. You know, I'd be taking credit away from so many players that have the potential to play like this right now. I'm scratching my head. I am more unsure about William than I was Katyan yesterday, but I feel like William, with how solid he's played, could be a better player. I just can't wait. It is cool that both William and Katyan are on the opposite side of the bracket.
If I wasn't so certain that Katyan was Hera, I would think that William was Hera. I don't know if you feel that way.
Yeah, yeah. It's everyone does everything. Like, you could say the only player to build Bombard Towers in Hidden Cup 2 was MBL.
Right.
And MBL built Bombard Towers, but what do you look at exactly? You just know this guy's really good, and you have some educated guesses going into the final day, but it's the beauty of Hidden Cup, man. It's the beauty of our pro scene, right? There's so many names. He's intentionally making Step Lancers, I think.
Wow. Why?
Or he'd misclick them a bunch of times.
In Imp, Mongol Step Lancers are really bad.
Yeah, chat's saying, chat's calling out our hypocrisy. Like, okay, William is using Multicube, by the way, so not MBL. But chat's saying how in Dark Age we said that Viper would never wall like that, which is true. I still maintain that I don't think Viper would go for 2 villager walling when going for water like that.
He wouldn't turn this into arena. Like, he might wall a little bit, but...
you have to wall with Italians, but I think walling when everyone's going water just hangs a villager that could be on a resource, which... I don't know,
yeah.
it's... Sorry, Cat, we're gonna be very wrong at the end of Hidden Cup 3, and I'm okay with that.
That's the best part.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Everyone walls. It's just a matter of the timing of the wall. Right. Oh, man. You know what's funny about all of this? Red still has had so much access to gold on the belt. So many villagers on gold, but it's the Hussar spam from William. He's just raiding all the farmers. He doesn't care about gold. He has 88 farmers, and Henry
the GG's called.
Henry the Lion gets swept. Wow. Holy crap. Look at this economy for a second. Look at this economy. Look at the amount of expansion and farms that we see.
Wow. 51,000 food. I'm getting a little bit ahead of you, but William, you got to look at these stats. It's incredible.
What on earth did we just see? 51,000 food collected against 29,000 food. Henry the Lion had 3,500 more gold. He had more stone. He had Mongols who have the potential to use that gold. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
Whew. I have no clue. There's been the level of play has risen over the past year to the point where when I see a player, I'm no longer talking about like Viper, or it might have been Leary in Hidden Cup 2. You're talking like any of 8 names. This could be a very prepared doubt, honestly, because he didn't micro... I would still lean against that, right? But, for example, he didn't really have flashy moves throughout this best of 3. Could have been a very prepared Max. Like, whoever this is, he's a boomer, because that eco is insane, but...
And it's been both games, right? The last 2, we saw really strong booming, I think.
Yeah. Wow. Chat, if Henry the Lion is watching, can we salute him? I feel bad, man. It's the beauty of Hidden Cup, but it's the sad thing about Hidden Cup. I just got some information, though, on the updated prize pool, because of all the subs and contributions, the prize pool is going up and up and up. $1 for every sub goes into the prize pool. And the amount for losing in the round of 16 in Hidden Cup 3 is $1,000. So
nice.
Henry probably feels pretty bad, but that's not a bad paycheck for losing.
Totally.
Just making it into the next rounds means that you will receive $2,100 for losing. That's a $1,100 bonus just to win a best of 5.
I like that.
Yeah.
If I were the loser, I would be pretty happy.
Whew. Lots of money on the line here. Okay. So we're now going to go to the poll scene, and I think this is going to be the most difficult one. Who is Henry the Lion? Feel free to vote, guys. Just hold off on typing numbers until you actually see the options. All 16 participants in Hidden Cup 3 are going to show up. Now, how many people... I guess you can't type numbers. How many people are new to Age of Empires, might have seen Hidden Cup on some type of, I don't know, there's been some articles recently posted which are incredible.
I saw that. Congratulations.
Dude, I don't know how that happened. But if you're new, just type a smiley face. Because I'm curious, it might be really fun if you're brand new to the scene and you don't know any of the players. And then you're trying to pick up on, oh, this player does this player does that. Okay. I mean, that's awesome. There's a lot of smileys there. Doubt and Nikov are currently leading the way with this poll. Huh.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was Doubt, to be honest. Well,
I think this is what's crazy. I think whoever just lost was better than Doubt. And
really?
Yeah, I think whoever just lost was better than Doubt. And Nikov or MBL would fit the mold. No offense, Doubt.
Oh, poor
like,
Doubt.
I think if Nikov plays a best of 5 versus Doubt, he wins 3-1 or 3-2. It's not like, calm down, guys. You all want to laugh at Doubt. It's not like extremely better, but... Okay, let's vote for the winner. It's definitely not someone who is not really well known with a lot of fans who just lost that. Okay, Conqueror is spelled wrong. Conqueror. But could be MBL, could be Viper. So many people swear that yesterday they saw Viper. Could be Hera, could be Leary, could be Yo, could be Max, could be Tato, could be Doubts, could be Dogao. I think Dogao and Velez are probably the two, Matt, that when we do the final reveal, people are going to think, what? They went that far?
Right. I was hearing some speculation the other day that Velez was going to be really hard to guess, and I agree, because I feel like I don't have a good... Like, it's hard enough, like, when you think you have, like, a top 5 player.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know where Velez stands right now, but it's just so interesting to think about a lot of the unknowns and how they could totally, like, blow people away with, like, how they're playing, to the extent that people guess, MBL, Viper, Doubt for these players, but it ends up being you don't expect.
MBL 29%, Viper 24%, Doubt 12%. So a lot of votes for the Norwegians in there, and all of those players are legends of the game. Cool. Well, guys, if you look at the brackets, a lot of heroes I've gone through, a lot of heroes have been upset. We have had some excellent sets today. You look at that, and you see that Alaric the Goth versus Vlad Dracula, which was the closest on paper, was 3-2, and then you see the 3-0 with William the Conqueror sweeping, but I think the level of play between William the Conqueror and Henry the Lion was higher. And now, my hero, Emperor in a Barrel, is up next. I picked him to win it all. I pray to God it's someone good. And
we'll see.
We are gonna see. I just have a feeling he's gonna get destroyed. Oh man, I am going all in for Emperor in a Barrel. But guys, we will be right back, okay? Don't go anywhere. Apparently, we are the most viewed stream on Twitch right now, so let's keep it that way. Thank you, everyone, for the Twitch Primes and whatnot. And we'll prep for the final best of 5 in Hidden Cup 3. Oh, and by the way, the music you hear is actually created by my co-caster, which is really nice.
Yeah, thank you, by the way, for showcasing it. The song Coda, I don't know if you know, is brand new, so
hell yeah.
A little shout out there. Coda is the name of my dog. I love him. Yeah.